Howdy there, traveler. Come on in out of the sun. Get some shade. Hot day, isn't it? Sort of day you just want a cold, strong drink to help restore the spirit, isn't it? Forgive me for my presumption. You strike me as a mage. It's the hat. Dead giveaway. I think I might have just the drink for you. I call it the Counterspell. Vodka and cranberry with a twist of lime and something a little special. Why don't I go ahead and make you a glass on the house, and you can tell me if you want to pay for a second one. All right? Here's everything you'll need to make this cocktail. A lime, preferably fresh, but if you live where I do, you can only get import. Some coarse or granulated sugar. Some white cranberry juice. Vodka. And some Star Drop whiskey, though I'm told they call this blue curacao over across the ocean. And, if you're able to get some of it for ornamentation, some arcane dust. Edible, preferably. The alternative isn't too pleasant. Alright, let's get to the next step. You're going to take your lime and slice off a wedge. And then go ahead and slice that wedge in half. So you got a nice crescent moon there. More of a half moon, I suppose. And you're going to take your glass and go ahead and rub the rim of the glass with the wedge. Get a nice coating of lime juice all around it. Then you're going to take your granulated sugar and go ahead and just roll that around in there. Get a nice coating on the outside of the glass, right on the rim. Go ahead and set the sugar aside. Use it for something else. We're going to be using the rest of the lime, though, so don't toss that. The next step is to go ahead and juice the lime. You can either squeeze it out into a separate glass or, like I'm doing here, use a dedicated citrus juicer. Pretty effective. And go ahead and squeeze those wedges in there too. Next up, take your cocktail shaker. Fill your jig with about 1 ounce, or a little less if you don't like it that sour, of the lime juice. Go ahead and pour that in. 1 ounce of the vodka. 2 ounces of the cranberry juice. Or, if you want it a little less strong, like I think it's best, 3. Next, some of the Star Drop whiskey. Once again, just 1 ounce. And then, a bit of ice. Cap the cocktail shaker. Make sure it's really on there. And give her a good shake for about a minute. Once you've done that well and proper, go ahead and pour it into the glass. Use a strainer if you have to, but some cocktail shakers come with an inbuilt strainer. Then, take the cranberry juice and add just enough to fill the glass a little more. And lastly, just a spritz of that arcane dust. Give her a stir. And there we have it. A counterspell. And sorry, bartender gets first taste. You're not going to regret this. Just the right combination of sweet and sour. Bold, courageous, and chilled. Same way I like my customers, actually. You know, there's a funny story about the person that made this drink for the first time. Let me tell you about it. This is a bit of a shorter one, don't worry. I know you're eager to give this a taste. Now then, this is another story involving the Alliance of Crowns. An age ago, in their capital city of Imperia, there was a wizard's academy that went by the name of the Arcanists. One of their professors, a diviner named Cicero Desicanter, had a bit of a drinking problem, as I'm told more than a few wizards do. Now, this was during Prohibition, you see, and getting his hands on his favorite drink, vodka and cranberry, was proving to be a bit difficult. He couldn't buy the liquor from Rethliar, that was his favorite, and without it, his drinks just didn't have the kick that he wanted. So, in a fit of madness, though some might say genius, he boiled a fistful of arcane dust in some Stardrop essence. The concoction nearly killed him, but gave him more than enough of the bite he was looking for. And so, after a few more iterations, and a few years of life taken out of his liver, he perfected the formula. It was incredibly popular with his students, with many claiming it aided them in their studies by adding focus and cunning. I doubt that myself, but damn if it doesn't taste good. Just make sure not to use too much of the dust, or you'll burn your soul out of your body. Allegedly. Quite the story, eh? It always is with drinks like these. Why don't you go ahead and finish that off while I go and tend to some bread that I have in the oven? Don't worry, won't be too long. Once I've tended to that, should be back in time to pour you a second glass. Savor it. Gems like these, they're magical. And they deserve to be cherished. Alright, well, I'm Benny the Barkeep, and happy trails.